Hey, Brent.
What's up, Zach?
What up, man? What are you up to?
I'm just going back to class.
Yeah, I just got out of my math class. I was over that place. Let's ditch this.
Dude, I have a test right now.
Come on, man. It's our senior year. Like, let's live it up. There's only a month left. Like, come on. What do you have to do besides take a math test?
Nothing, I guess.
Come on, let's go drink some brews I stole from my parents' house. Let's get hammered.
Alright, fine, let's go.
Let's get out of here. Oh, senior year.
I never thought I'd die alone. The choice was mine, I didn't think enough. I'm too depressed to go on. You'll be sorry when I'm gone.
Man, I can't believe senior year's over. I'm so glad it is, though. Like, I was stressing towards the end. I thought I wasn't going to be able to graduate. Pulled through, though. This park adventure's definitely worth it, though.
Definitely.
You're going to get so hammered.
Finally a break from school.
Can't believe you skipped out on your math test to come here.
Whatever, I'll make it up.
Yeah, that's what I say every time. Never ends up happening, though.
Whatever, I'm gonna graduate. That's all that matters.
As long as I get that D for diploma.
I never conquered, rarely came 16, just held such better days. Days when I still felt alive. We couldn't wait to get outside. The world was wide, too late to try. The tour was over, we'd survive. Days when I could still feel alive. When I can't wait to get outside. The world is wide, the time goes by. The tour is over, I'd survive. I can't wait till I
Get out here, man.
pass the time in my room outside. The world was wide, too late to try. The tour was over, we'd survive. I couldn't wait till I got home to pass the time in my room alone.
Jacob, we need to go get the centerpieces for prom. Mr. Barry forgot to get them.
Alright, sweet. So we get to go right now?
Yeah, Miss Elliott gave us the okay.
Okay, I'm parked over by the band room.
Okay, let's go. I'm so excited for prom.
Hey, can we go get my tux after this too?
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that your phone?
I don't think so, man. Oh, crap. It's my mom.
Dude, don't answer it.
No, dude, I have to.
Zach, dude, don't answer it.
I have to, man.
No, don't.
Like, let me
We're
try,
gonna
man.
get in
Like,
trouble.
hello? What? No, I didn't ditch school. Me and Brent just went across the street to get something to eat. No. Like, don't listen to the mom. Like, I'll be there in a second. Like, I'll just be there in 1 second. Don't worry. Dude, we gotta go right now. Here, man, take these.
No, give me the keys.
No. There's no way I'm letting you grab my car.
Let me drive, it's right there.
No, it's just down the street, man. I got this. Like, it's fine. Like, take the beers.
Whatever.
Like, get out here.
We were meant to live for so much more, but we lost ourselves somewhere we live.
Dude, get in your lane. Come
Don't
on,
tell me how
Zach.
to drive. It's my car.
Come on, Zach, dude.
I got it under control.
Better get it together.
I drive better when I'm drunk.
This world's got to offer. We want more than this world's got to offer.
driving like an idiot, Zach. Get it together.
I got it.
Drive normal. Let's get pulled over. Bro, Zach, slow down. Slow down. Bro, you ran the light. You missed the exit. You're driving like an idiot. Bro, Zach, slow down. Zach, slow down.
Brent, wake up. Brent, are you okay, man? Brent. Brent.
Oh my God, Beth, call 911.
There's a car crash at Santana High School, in the bus circle behind the gym.
How many vehicles are involved?
There's 2 vehicles.
Are any of them over 10?
No.
Come on in, I've got 1 confirmed fatality. I've got 2 patients in another vehicle. 1 that's uninjured at this time.
So let mercy come and wash away.
My name's Jesse, buddy, and we're gonna take good care of you, all right? We're gonna get you to the hospital, all right?
I'll face myself to cross out what I become. Face myself. Put to rest what you thought of me. While I clean this slate with the hands of uncertainty. So let mercy come and wash away.
1,004.
I'll face myself to cross out what I
Alright, turn her off.
erase myself.
Alright, Zach, right now you're being arrested for felony DUI, vehicular manslaughter. Questions?
I start again, and whatever thing may come, today this ends. I'm forgiving what
Can you hear me? What's your name? What's your name? Can you open your eyes? Can you open your eyes?
Tails. Haley. Can you hear me?
She doesn't have a radio. Did you guys get any pulses on scene? No pulse? Did you get a carotid? I'm not getting anything here. You feel what I'm touching? How about up here, Jacob? Nothing? Alright, this is Jacob, 18 years old. Lap shoulder belt restrained driver, airbag deployment, starting the windshield. Got some trauma to the left forearm here. Times 3. However, just unable to feel from the waist down.
Deep breath in and out. Deep breath. Nice. Can you feel me touching down here?
No.
No? How about here?
No.
How about here?
Uh-uh.
How about up on your chest?
Yeah.
Feel normal? All right, let's get him ready for CAT scan. Jacob, I think you broke your back and injured your spinal cord. We're gonna go to the CAT scanner and we're gonna call neurosurgery and we'll get your parents in to see you, okay? Hey, I'm Dr. Seiss. He's been in a very bad car accident. He's broken his back and injured his spinal cord. And right now he can't move below the waist. It's too early to tell whether he'll be able to walk again, but you can be with him. He's stable otherwise, and the neurosurgeons are going to see him shortly. Okay?
Take another chance, take a fall, take a shot for you. Oh, and I need you like a heart needs a beat.
Baptist Shoulder trained passenger, small sedan, motor vehicle collision with another small sedan at an unknown rate of speed.
I don't
Last
feel a
fracture
pulse.
across her forehead.
Has she moved at all?
Has not moved at all. Very
I don't-
faint carotid pulse en route.
Feel a pulse, tell me. Do an ultrasound. But nothing on the monitor. I don't see any cardiac activity. Did she have any signs of life in transit?
No movement whatsoever.
All right. All right, she's already gone. Time of death is 11:09. Haley was in a very bad car accident. And I'm sorry to have to tell you she died. She did not survive. She had a horrible head injury. And I know she didn't suffer, but she was already dead by the time she arrived at the hospital. Everyone did everything they could, but I'm afraid the injury in the car crash was devastating.
What were you thinking? I mean, about you going to school this morning? What happened? Do you understand how serious this is? I mean, how it's affected your life? How it's affected everyone else's lives?
Hi, good morning, ma'am. I'm Officer Carter with the California Highway Patrol. Unfortunately, your son, Brett, was involved in a traffic collision this morning. He unfortunately sustained fatal injuries as a result of the collision, and he is being transported to a mortuary.
I told him I loved him this morning before he left for school. I'm not gonna get to see him graduate from high school. I'm not gonna see him get married, have kids, have a successful job. It's all just been taken away.
I told him I loved him before he went to bed last night. I won't ever have my brother again. He's one of the best people I have ever known, not just because he's my brother. You could ask anyone. He just had so much more good to add to the world.
Everybody rise, please. In the presence of the flag of our country, emblem of the Constitution, and remembering the principles for which it stands, Department 14 of the Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the East County of San Diego, is now in session. The Honorable Eddie C. Sturgeon, Judge, presiding. Please be seated and come to order.
All right, this is the people of the state of California versus Zachary Bemis. This is set for a preliminary examination. May I have appearances, please?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Joe McLaughlin for the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ann Summers on behalf of Mr. Bemis, who is seated to my right in custody.
Are we ready to proceed?
People call Jose Barraza to the stand.
I saw two vehicles. It appeared to be a head-on collision. Fire personnel was already on scene. They were already working on the patients. I exited our patrol vehicle, made contact with the battalion chief. He advised me that there was already one person deceased as a result of the traffic collision, and they were working on the other two occupants that were in the white car.
The people would like to call a number of the victims' families.
The thought of going on, not having Brent anymore, is I don't know how I'm going to go on not to have him in my life. He's got a heart of gold. He would do anything for anyone. And I don't know how I'm going to go on. And I'm not going to be able to see him get married, to have kids, just to see him come back from a trip fishing, or to see him leaving to go fishing. I'll never have that joy anymore.
Like my mom said, I will never have the joy of waking up on Christmas next to my brother. I'll never watch another Steelers game. Our family has lost someone, but you have a family too. He has an opportunity to live his life and have these memories one day with his family. And I don't want this to take another son away from their family.
Haley. If anybody knew her, she was probably the most genuine, kind, beautiful soul person anyone had ever known. She wanted to be a school teacher, an elementary school teacher, because she was patient and kind with little kids. She wanted to teach. And I you know, that was her goal in her life, and now it's not going to happen. And I wish one day I can forgive you in my heart, but right now we're still in shock and devastated.
I feel slightly fortunate. We still get to talk to our son. But he was an athlete, 3 years old, he played soccer. Everything he did in life, he was active. He wanted to be out and about. But the worst part is that you took away my son's ability to walk, but you also took away his heart. Haley was the love of his life. I know he's young, but they had a true love. And you took that from him.
Like my parents said, that I always loved to be active, and I'll never be able to walk again, and I'll never be able to do anything like a real person again. And that is terrible, but more than this, I lost my best friend. We had plans to go to college together, and after college we still had plans. We were gonna get married. I know that sounds foolish, but I really believed in it, and I truly loved Haley, and I will never see her again.
Just cannot express in words the heartbreak that we share with you as to what's happened. And I do know that losing a child is the greatest pain that a parent can endure. And Jacob, you and your family, your lives are forever changed.
Your Honor, I just want to say how truly sorry I am to every friend, loved one, and family member that I affected by my actions on that day. I know what I did was wrong, and I can't take back anything I did. If I could, I'd trade places with any person that was involved in that accident.
So therefore, in this case, clearly probation is denied. The defendant will be sentenced to state prison for the following term. Count 1, which is the first dead body, vehicular manslaughter, 10 years state prison. Count 2, another dead body, vehicular manslaughter. That's 10 more years state prison, consecutive. So we're up to 20. For the young man that is paralyzed, that's 3 more years, consecutive, that's 23 years. And for the multiple victim enhancements, that's 3 years, that'll be consecutive. So following the law in the state of California, the defendant is hereby sentenced to the Department of Corrections for 26 years. Dennis, get him out of here.
I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memories. I'm so tired, but I can't sleep. Standing on the edge of something much too deep. It's funny how we feel so much, we cannot say a word, though we are screaming inside. Oh, we can't be heard. And I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for memories. I'm so afraid to love you, more afraid to lose. Clinging to a past that doesn't let me choose. But once there was a darkness, a deep and endless night. You gave me everything you had, all you gave me life. And I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for memories. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Would it be the same if I saw you in heaven? I must be strong and carry on, 'cause I know I don't belong here in heaven. Would you hold my hand if I saw you in heaven? Would you help me stand if I saw you in heaven?
I went to the party, Mom. I remembered what you said. You told me not to drink and drive, Mom, so I drank soda instead. I really felt proud inside, Mom, the way you said I would. I didn't drink and drive, Mom, even though the others said I should. I know I did the right thing, Mom. I know you were always right. Now the party is finally ending, Mom, as everyone is driving out of sight. As I got into my car, Mom, I knew I'd get home in one piece because of the way you raised me, so responsible and sweet. Started to drive away, Mom, but as I pulled out in the road, the other car didn't see me, Mom, and hit me like a load. As I lay there on the pavement, Mom, I hear the policeman say, "The other guy is drunk, Mom. Now I'm the one who will have to pay." I'm lying here dying, Mom. I wish you'd get here soon. How could this happen to me, Mom? My life just burst like a balloon. There's blood all around me, Mom, and most of it is mine. I hear the medics say, Mom, I'll die in a short time. I just wanted to tell you, Mom, I swear I didn't drink. It was the others, Mom. The others didn't think. He was probably at the same party as I. The only difference is he drank and I will die. Why do people drink, Mom? It can ruin your whole life. I'm feeling sharp pains now. Pains just like a knife. The guy who hit me is walking, Mom, and I don't think it's fair. I'm lying here dying, and all he can do is stare. Tell my brother not to cry, Mom. Tell Daddy to be brave. When I go to heaven, Mom, put Daddy's girl on the grave. Someone should have told him, Mom, not to drink and drive. If only they had told him, Mom, I would still be alive. My breath is getting shorter, Mom. I am becoming very scared. Please don't cry for me, Mom. When I needed you, you were always there. I have one last question, Mom, before I say goodbye. I didn't drink and drive, Mom, so why am I the one to die?
Hey, Brent.
What's up, Zach?
What up, man? What are you up to?
I'm just going back to class.
Yeah, I just got out of my math class. I was over that place. Let's ditch this.
Dude, I have a test right now.
Come on, man. It's our senior year. Like, let's live it up. There's only a month left. Like, come on. What do you have to do besides take a math test?
Nothing, I guess.
Come on, let's go drink some brews I stole from my parents' house. Let's get hammered.
Alright, fine, let's go.
Let's get out of here. Senior year.
I never thought I'd die alone. The choice was mine, I didn't think enough. I'm too depressed to go on. You'll be sorry when I'm gone.
Man, I can't believe senior year's over. I'm so glad it is, though. Like, I was stressing towards the end. Thought I wasn't gonna be able to graduate. Pulled through, though. This park adventure's definitely worth it, though.
Definitely.
You're gonna get so hammered.
Finally a break from school.
I can't believe you skipped out on your math test to come here.
Whatever, I'll make it up.
Yeah, that's what I say every time. Never ends up happening, though.
Whatever, I'm gonna graduate. That's all that matters.
As long as I get that D for diploma.
I never conquered, rarely came. 16 just held such better days. Days when I still felt alive. We couldn't wait to get outside. The world was wide, too late to try. The tour was over, we'd survive.
Jacob, we need to go get the centerpieces for prom. Mr. Barry forgot to get them.
Alright, sweet. So we get to go right now?
Yeah, Miss Elliott gave us the okay.
Okay, I'm parked over by the band room.
Okay, let's go. I'm so excited for prom.
Hey, can we go get my tux after this too?
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that your phone?
I don't think so, man. Oh crap! It's my mom.
Dude, don't answer it.
No, dude. I have to.
Zach, dude, don't answer it.
I have to, man.
No, don't.
Like, let me try, man.
Get in
Like,
trouble.
hello? What? No, I didn't ditch school. Me and Brendan went across the street to get something to eat. No. Like, don't listen to the mom. Like, I'll be there in a second. Like, I'll just be there in 1 second. Don't worry. Dude, we gotta go right now. Here, man, take these.
No, give me the keys.
No. There's no way I'm letting you grab my car.
Let me drive. It's right there.
No, it's just down the street, man. I got this. Like, it's fine. Like, take the beers.
Whatever.
Like, get out here.
Dude, get in your lane. Come
Don't
on,
tell me
Zach.
how to drive. It's my car.
Come on, Zach, dude.
I got it under control.
Better get it together.
I drive better when I'm drunk.
You're driving like an idiot, Zach. Get it together.
I got it.
Drive normal. Let's get pulled over. Bro, Zach, slow down. Slow down. Bro, you just ran the light. You missed the exit. You're driving like an idiot. Bro, Zach, slow down. Zach, slow down.
Brent, wake up. Brent, are you okay, man? Brent.
Oh my God, Beth, call 911.
There's a car crash at Santana High School, in the bus circle behind the gym.
How many vehicles are involved?
There's 2 vehicles.
Are any of them over 10?
No.
Come on in, I've got 1 confirmed fatality. I've got 2 patients in another vehicle, 1 that's uninjured at this time.
My name's Jesse, buddy, and we're gonna take good care of you, alright? We're gonna get you to the hospital, alright?
All right, Zach, right now you're being arrested for felony DUI, vehicular manslaughter. Questions?
Can you hear me? What's your name? What's your name? Can you open your eyes? Can you open your eyes?
Hails. Haley. Can you hear me?
She doesn't have a radio. Did you guys get any pulses on scene? No pulse? Did you get a carotid? I'm not getting anything here. You feel what I'm touching? How about up here, Jacob? Nothing? Jacob, 18 years old, lap and shoulder belt restrained driver, airbag deployment, starting the windshield. Got some trauma to the left forearm here. He's ×3, however, he's unable to feel from the waist down.
Deep breath in and out. Deep breath. Nice. Can you feel me touching down here?
No.
No? How about here?
No.
How about here? How about up on your chest?
Yeah.
Feel normal? All right, let's get him ready for CAT scan. Jacob, I think you broke your back and injured your spinal cord. We're gonna go to the CAT scanner and we're gonna call neurosurgery and we'll get your parents in to see you, okay? Hey, I'm Dr. Seiss. He's been in a very bad car accident. He's broken his back and injured his spinal cord. And right now he can't move below the waist. It's too early to tell whether he'll be able to walk again, but you can be with him. He's stable otherwise, and the neurosurgeons are going to see him shortly. Okay?
Take another chance, take a fall, take a shot for you. Oh, I need you like a heart needs a beat.
Restrained passenger, small sedan, motor vehicle collision with another small sedan at an unknown rate of speed. Laceration across her forehead.
Has she moved at all?
Has not moved at all. Very faint carotid pulse en route.
What pulse tell me? Do an ultrasound. What's nothing on the monitor. I don't see any cardiac activity. Did she have any signs of life in transit?
No, no movement whatsoever.
All right, she's already gone. Time of death is 11:09. Haley was in a very bad car accident, and I'm sorry to have to tell you she died. She did not survive. She had a horrible head injury, and I know she didn't suffer, but she was already dead by the time she arrived at the hospital. Everyone did everything they could, but I'm afraid the injury in the car crash was devastating.
What were you thinking? I mean, about you going to school this morning? What happened? Do you understand how serious this is? I mean, how it's affected your life? How it's affected everyone else's lives?
Hi, good morning, ma'am. I'm Officer Carter with the California Highway Patrol. Unfortunately, your son, Brett, was involved in a traffic collision this morning. He unfortunately sustained fatal injuries as a result of the collision, and he is being transported to a mortuary.
I told him I loved him this morning before he left for school. I'm not going to get to see him graduate from high school. I'm not going to see him get married, have kids, have a successful job. It's all just been taken away.
I told him I loved him before he went to bed last night. I won't ever have my brother again. He's one of the best people I've ever known. not just because he's my brother. You could ask anyone. He just had so much more good to add to the world.
Everybody rise, please. In the presence of the flag of our country, emblem of the Constitution, and remembering the principles for which it stands, Department 14 of the Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the East County of San Diego, is now in session. The Honorable Eddie C. Sturgeon, Judge, presiding. Please be seated and come to order.
All right, this is the people of the state of California versus Zachary Bemis. This is set for a preliminary examination. May I have appearances, please?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Joe McLaughlin for the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ann Summers on behalf of Mr. Bemis, who is seated to my right in custody.
Are we ready to proceed?
People call Jose Barraza to the stand.
I saw two vehicles. It appeared to be a head-on collision. Fire personnel was already on scene. They were already working on the patients. I exited our patrol vehicle, made contact with the battalion chief. He advised me that there was already one person deceased as a result of the traffic collision, and they were working on the other two occupants that were in the white car.
The people would like to call a number of the victims' families.
The thought of going on, not having Brent anymore is, I don't know how I'm going to go on. Not to have him in my life. He's got a heart of gold. He would do anything for anyone. And I don't know how I'm going to go on. And I'm not going to be able to see him get married, to have kids, just to see him come back from a trip fishing, or to see him leaving to go fishing. I'll never have that joy anymore.
Like my mom said, I will never have the joy of waking up on Christmas next to my brother. I'll never watch another Steelers game. Our family has lost someone, but you have a family too. He has an opportunity to live his life and have these memories one day with his family. And I don't want this to take another son away from their family.
Haley. If anybody knew her, she was probably the most genuine, kind, beautiful soul person anyone had ever known. She wanted to be a school teacher, an elementary school teacher, because she was patient and kind with little kids she wanted to teach. And I you know, that was her goal in her life, and now it's not going to happen. And I wish one day I can forgive you in my heart, but right now we're still in shock and devastated.
I feel slightly fortunate. We still get to talk to our son. But he was an athlete, 3 years old. He played soccer. Everything he did in life, he was active. He wanted to be out and about. But the worst part is that you took away my son's ability to walk, but you also took away his heart. Haley was the love of his life. I know he's young, but they had a true love. And you took that from him.
Like my parents said, that I always loved to be active, and I'll never be able to walk again, and I'll never be able to do anything like a real person again. And that is terrible, but more than this, I lost my best friend. We had plans to go to college together, and after college we still had plans. We were gonna get married. I know that sounds foolish, but I really believed in it, and I truly loved Haley, and I will never see her again.
Just cannot express in words the heartbreak that we share with you as to what's happened, and I do know that losing a child is the greatest pain that a parent can endure, and Jacob, you and your family, your lives are forever changed.
Your Honor, I just want to say how truly sorry I am to every friend, loved one, and family member that I affected by my actions on that day. I know what I did was wrong, and I can't take back anything I did. If I could, I'd trade places with any person that was involved in that accident.
So therefore, in this case, clearly probation is denied. The defendant will be sentenced to state prison for the following term. Count 1, which is the first dead body, vehicular manslaughter, 10 years state prison. Count 2, another dead body, vehicular manslaughter. That's 10 more years state prison, consecutive. So we're up to 20. For the young man that is paralyzed, that's 3 more years, consecutive. That's 23 years. And for the multiple victim enhancements, that's 3 years. That'll be consecutive. So following the law in the state of California, the defendant is hereby sentenced to the Department of Corrections for 26 years. Dennis, get him out of here.
Every 15 minutes, a drunk driver kills someone in an alcohol-related crash. My name's Kevin Perlstein. I work out of the CHP El Cajon area office. At least once a week in East County, we have a crash that results in a fatality. Unfortunately, too often than not, it involves young people, as well as alcohol. It's one poor choice that could change the direction of your life or the life of somebody else. The number of living dead students you see seated to my left and right represent the number of people who will be killed today by a drunk driver while you were in school here at Santana High School. If you pay attention to the news, lately there's been several DUI crashes, several wrong-way DUI crashes. 3 weeks ago on Interstate 15 in the Scripps Ranch area, 2 people were killed in the carpool lanes by a wrong-way drunk driver. 3 more people went to the hospital with major injuries. Last week on State Route 163 in the Mission Valley area, a 21-year-old Marine driving the wrong way in an F-350 pickup struck a Toyota Prius head-on, killed 2 people in that Prius. The 2 young ladies who died in that crash were 23 years old. They were both medical students at UCSD. Very bright future ahead of them, about ready to graduate and continue their life. But in a blink of an eye, their life was erased. 2 days ago, we had a 26-year-old man who, in January of 2014, was involved in a DUI crash where he killed 3 of his friends. 2 days ago, he was found guilty of 3 counts of vehicular homicide. He's going to be sentenced to state prison next week. His life is over. He's looking at 20-plus years. He'll be almost 50 years old if he gets out of prison. Is it worth it for a few beers and a good time? Such senseless violence going on all around us. So it's incumbent on you, the juniors and seniors here at Santana High School, to do something about it. I'm old enough to know what goes on in high school. I'm not naive. Your parents are not naive. We all know that drinking goes on. We wish it didn't, but it does. But if you're going to drink, please don't make the decision to get behind the wheel. Several programs out there. There's Lyft, there's Uber, there's your friends. Call your parents. I'd much rather have a young person call me, go pick them up, and then the next day chew them out. I'm not going to worry about it that night. Because you'd hate to wake up in the morning and see on the news that a young person had died in an alcohol-related crash, and you were at that party. You saw that person, and you let that person drive away. Last night, the students up here were in Pine Valley at the student retreat. Up there we talked about how DUI affects lives and ruins lives. They also heard the story of a young girl who was about to graduate from UCSD. Her mom came and spoke. Her mom brought pictures. Her mom talked about how great a person her daughter was. Her daughter was already teaching, had graduated in December, but was going to walk with her class in June. They had been planning her graduation party for 6 months. They had flyers, invitations. Family were coming in from around the United States to come celebrate this great achievement of graduating from college. They bought daughter a green dress. It was her favorite dress. She wore it in all the family pictures that they were taking. A week before her scheduled graduation, she was killed by a drunk driver. And as the students listened to the mother, she could see the pain in her eyes. You could hear the pain in her voice. She was never going to get over it, no matter how many years went by. She called it a hole in her family that was never going to be replaced. So rather than celebrating her graduation on the same day, they had her funeral. And they buried her in her green dress. They buried her in her engagement ring to her boyfriend of 3.5 years. And they buried her with some of her stuffed animal bunnies that she loved so much. While we were in Pine Valley, the parents of the students involved in this program were here at school, and they were hearing about how alcohol affects young people as well. While the parents were here, they wrote letters to their children. And the letters said, every 15 minutes a drunk driver kills somebody in the United States. Today you were killed and I never got to tell you this. At the same time in Pine Valley, the students were writing letters to someone who's very important to them. And their letters were, every 15 minutes a drunk driver kills someone. Today I was killed and never got to tell you this. At this time, I'm going to have 2 people come up and read their letters. Mr. Bobby Fisher and student Adi Dinescu.
Every 15 minutes, someone is killed or seriously injured by any alcohol-related traffic incident. Today you died, and I never got the chance to say goodbye. Jake, before I can say goodbye, I want you to know this. I feel we have always said I love you or love each other, but today I wish I can go back to every I love you and look into your eyes and feel the true value and the heartfelt feelings I have when I tell you I love you. That I love you have come, that love I have comes from the love you have given me and others around you. You, son, have given me more than words can describe. The loss I feel now cannot be measured. This loss will be the new part of me in my life. I will need to look back and remember how you have shaped my life and how you wish others to be. I will have to lean on the times I felt such pride when you caught your first fish while hand fishing, and the pride I felt watching you teach others to do the same. Your selfless acts and abilities go on, spanning all areas of life, sports, hobbies. I want you to know I love that you have a beautiful mind that partners well with your heart. You make decisions based on a moral compass. You're able to put yourself aside when making the right choice. A moral decision is often not the popular decision, but you have navigated your life well and have many admirers for this. I, your father, being your biggest fan next to your mother. With all this said, I want you to know and understand I'm a better man, father, person, having had you in my life. And knowing what I know of you, I will strive to be even better moving forward into the future, remembering you every day. I love you and I will miss you every second we are apart. See you in heaven. Love, Dad.
Dear Mom, every 15 minutes, someone is killed or seriously injured in an alcohol-related traffic incident. Today I died, and I never got the chance to say goodbye. I never got to tell you how very much you mean to me. I never got to tell you how thankful I am for everything you have done for me. I never got to prove to you that I was not taking it all for granted. In a moment, I was gone. I left this world, and I was no longer with you. All the years of support and love had ultimately resulted in having to see me get buried, a pain worse than any other I had inflicted ever before. If I could pause that instant and tell you what I felt, it would be regret. Regret for all the times I've been ungrateful. Regret for all the times I let my temper get the best of me. Regret that the last time we spoke, I was rude and selfish and left you and felt anger. Regret that I could never make it up to you. Regret that the next time you would see me, I would be in a casket and you would have to say your final goodbye. And at the end, I would be ashamed of myself, ashamed that I could let my pride get the best of me and let myself doubt that you were trying to do what's best for me and doubt that everything that happens, every fight, every hug, every proud comment to other parents bragging that I was the best, was anything but love for me. I'm ashamed that I can never make you more proud. I can't bring you the joy of seeing me graduate, seeing me get married, seeing me make a family of my own. Now I'm just another victim, another statistic. But you know me as your son, the one who's the first to greet you and hug you when you came home from work, the one who told you what he wanted for Christmas the morning of your birthday, the one who lays in a casket in front of you and never gets to feel you wrap your arms around him one last time and hear you tell him just how proud of him you are, even at his lowest moments. Thank you, Mom, for everything. Goodbye.
The success of this program goes to the many professionals who donate their time, usually 10, 15, 20 times a year, to hopefully get through to just one person, because they know just saving one life makes all this very worthwhile. The trauma room doctor that you saw in the video is one of these professionals. We're very grateful that he is part of this program. Please welcome Dr. Seiss.
Thanks, Officer Pearlstein. You know, watching that video, when I went to talk to the parents about their daughter having died, I can't tell you how hard it is to even simulate that. The reason why I'm here, all of the officers, the paramedics, Judge Sturgeon, is out of respect to you. It's a sign of our respect and esteem for you. You are our future. Now, I'm sure there's some of you who have either thought, a lot of you have either thought or said maybe to your parents, hey, I'm old enough to make my own decisions. And you're right. You're absolutely right. And you're old enough to live with those decisions. You know, I've learned in my own life and in being in that trauma room and seeing drunk people come in that alcohol is a thief. It's an absolute thief. It always takes more than it gives. It's interesting. We have some pre-med students from some of the colleges around the community, you know, folks only a year or two older than you, and they hang with us in the trauma bay and learn about what it's like to be a doctor. Because, you know, it's really hard to get through pre-med programs. You really have to work hard. And so they can start to see the interns and residents and young folks like them who've been through it. But we'll see somebody who's brought in, either they've been in a fight or a car accident, and fortunately they haven't been badly injured, but they're drunk. And they look absolutely foolish. I mean, really stupid. And I say to the students, this is what it looks like to be drunk. It looks really stupid. Alcohol's a thief. You know, what I do in the trauma bay, what I do in my job, is based on what we call evidence. It's based on studying thousands of other injured patients. For instance, if you or your family member gets injured in San Diego County, you have such a better chance of surviving because of what we learned from the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. It's phenomenal. It's changed everything. So bringing that home benefits all of you. It's based on evidence. You know, if you flip a coin 100 times, you take out a quarter and you flip it 100 times, it's going to come up heads about 50 times. Those are the odds. That's the evidence. If you drink and get in a car, or you get in a car with someone who's been drinking, sooner or later, somebody's going to get hurt, and hurt bad. Can you imagine 2 young medical students? They were like you in college. They'd worked really hard. They'd worked through high school. They'd worked really hard in college. Now they're in medical school. And somebody got drunk, got confused, got on the highway going the wrong way and killed them. So we're here today because of the evidence. And the evidence is clear. The data is absolutely clear. Alcohol is a thief, and if you drink and drive or get in a car with somebody who's been drinking or driving, sooner or later, somebody's going to get hurt badly. And it's going to alter your life. It's going to alter your life. So tonight, next week, and for the rest of your life, please make the decisions that count. You know, at the end of the day, what you do and who you are has to stand for something. It really does. I mean, think of your parents, of how hard they've worked. You know, you think of your mom and dad, you know who they are and what they stand for. And now it's your turn to show us what you stand for. So please remember, alcohol is a thief. You deserve more for yourselves. Your family deserves more than to make those choices that will hurt you. So please, out of respect to you, all of us are here asking you not to think about this as some of you are out there thinking, it's not going to happen to me. It's natural to think that way. Please, what we've provided you is a real look at what it's like. The emotions of the families, the emotions of the students are real. But let me tell you what it's like to walk down that hall and to face someone's parents, their eyes full of hope, and to be carrying this emotional sledgehammer and have to tell them that their child is dead. Make the right choice. We're counting on you. We're proud of you. You're our future. Show us what you stand for. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Seiss. As well, in the video, you saw one of the judges who lives in the community, works in the community, and is very well respected in the community. He's the Honorable Superior Court Judge Eddie Sturgeon. He's definitely a judge that you do not want to end up in his courtroom.
Especially on a case like this. Sad to say, what you saw in the video, it's pretty close to it. And sad to say, I've probably had to do about, I think it's up to 10 of these cases. Way too many. We use the word accident, tragedy. When I get these cases, I think of 2 words: state prison, because that's where you're going. And if there's one thing I want you to remember today, if you go out, you drink, and you get behind the wheel of that car, and something happens, you're going to state prison, period. These are not probation cases, trust me. And you're going for a long time. So just weigh that in your mind. Drinks, car, or state prison. And I think you'll make the right choice. What you saw, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the criminal justice system. Pretty true. Person gets arrested, he's going to be immediately booked into county jail. He'll have a hearing within 48 hours. That's by law in front of a judge. Judge, because there's 2 dead bodies, bail will be set at least $1 million, maybe $2 million. So that means that young man or woman is not going to get out of custody. They have to have a preliminary examination, which is what we did in my courtroom within 10 days. They come into the courtroom. These cases are extremely easy for the district attorney to prove. Why is that? Because as you know, in the state of California, if you are under the age of 21, you can have 0 alcohol in your system when you get behind the wheel of a car. This young man that was in front of me today had a .15. So he probably had about a 6-pack and a half in front of him. I've got 2 dead bodies, and I've got a person that's paralyzed in my courtroom. So basically what happens in these cases, they don't go to trial, even though he has the right to a trial. These cases plead out, and they beg on the mercy of the court to get the best sentence they can. I live in this community. I live with you. When I go out, people come up and say, Judge, we got to stop this. As Kevin said, 1 a week. 1 a week we have accident involving young children. You're not children, young adults with alcohol involved. And so you got the message. And that's why when people come in front of me, they sit there. And of course, in my courtroom, anytime I have a death case, who's there? ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox. They're all there. Judge, what are you going to do in this case? I have Mothers Against Drunk Driving. They're there. When I do a death case, I have to set aside a half day. Normally when I can sentence in a half hour, but it's very emotional in my courtroom. I got one side, which are the victims' parents. They want blood. Judge, that person took my daughter or something from me. You put them away as long as you can, or him as long as you can. On the other side, I have usually the parents of the minor or the young adult. The high school said, Judge, be lenient. He's a good kid, just like this young man. No prior record, nothing. Athlete at his school, good student. But you got to understand, he's going to go to state prison for a long time. These are what we call strikes, 2 manslaughters, felony driving under the influence. Those are 3 strikes. State of California has to serve 85%. So just think about that. I gave him 26 years, just about right, which means he will serve then 85% of that. That's nearly, I think, 22 years. So you're going to live your life 22 years more before this young man is eligible for probation, for parole. And who knows if he will even get parole at that time. Is it worth it? I don't think so. So you have to consider that. You say, well, Judge, okay, then is the case over? He's off to state prison. Case over? No. What happens then, we got to deal with the civil lawsuits. The parents of the deceased, the parents of the young man that was paralyzed, they're going to sue his parents. So now we go through wrongful death cases in the civil side of the courtroom. That'll probably last another 4 or 5 years. If we should find out where that young man got that alcohol and it was given to him by an adult, we're going to arrest somebody. I'm ashamed to tell you this. But last year we were going to do a program. There was a program scheduled for Poway High. 2 weeks before, the parents had a party for their daughter, of which they invited, I think, 50, 60 people, and they supplied alcohol to all the young adults. When the police finally got there, because obviously the party got out of hand, 2 young adults were passed out, had to be taken to the hospital. We have what we call the social host law in the state of California. If an adult gives alcohol to a minor, that's a crime. So those 2 parents were arrested. What's sad about it, we were scheduled to do the every 15 minutes later on that month in that school, and we had to cancel it. So you can see it's just not one event. This just keeps going on and on and on, and it'll be a lifelong thing. So here's the bottom line. You know what's going to happen. I'm not going to retire soon. I'm going to be there. You do not want to come in front of me. I will tell you that. So when you're at that party, or you're out there partying, and you've had too much, or you've had any, just think about it. Do I want to get behind that wheel, or am I looking at 26 years? It's an easy choice. I urge you to make it. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Sturgeon. Our keynote speaker this morning has a very powerful story. Please welcome Mr. Larry McNamer.
Good morning, everybody. Before I get into my reason for standing up here, I want to thank the parents and the students who were a part of this program. I know for a fact that if it wasn't for the parents' involvement in this program, it wouldn't work. So thank you for being involved in this. On a wonderful July afternoon, getting ready to leave my home, was going to be gone for 25 or 30 minutes. As I was getting in my car, I noticed my 15-year-old son, Sean, his 15-year-old friend, crossed in front of the truck, and I yelled out the window, said, "Be back in a few minutes." "Okay, Dad." And he nodded and winked. My wife and I, having had 4 boys, we had always tried to find different ways with each one of them that each one would feel they had, something special. And with Sean, it was a nod and a wink. I started my truck, left. 25 minutes later, as I'm approaching the intersection where I'm going to make the left turn to go up to our home, I drove up on the intersection from hell. And as I came over the hump and down towards the intersection, I noticed fire trucks, ambulance, highway patrol, CHP, people on all 4 corners. And as I pulled into that left-hand turn lane, the first thing that caught my eye was one of those yellow body blankets covering a body in the middle of the road. I'm now sitting at that intersection, looking at that body up to the light, when suddenly I hear a voice in my head that is repeating itself, saying, "Larry, this is one of your boys. It's one of your boys." And I'm staring at that body up to the light. They had yet to really shut the roadway down, so I didn't, want to run the lights with all the police presence. And then noticing my next-door neighbor standing directly off to my left, jumping up and down in the middle of the road, saying, "Larry, Larry, Larry, come on, hurry up, get over here, hurry up." So now I'm looking at her, the body, light. Finally, the light changed. I pulled over to where she was in the roadway. She leaned her head in the window and she said, "Larry, it's Sean. He's been hit by a car and he's dead." I jumped out of my truck, took off running towards that body that was in the roadway. I felt like I had to get over there as fast as I could, pick him up and hold him and let him know that everything's going to be okay. Just hold on. Dad's here now. Just hold on. And as I'm running towards that body, that voice came back in my head, and this time it was telling me to stop. Stop. But I kept running through that. My next-door neighbor's husband, he was on the fire department that day, at work, on duty, on this call. He came out of nowhere, grabbed me, turned me around, started to take me back over to my truck, and telling me that there was nothing I needed to see or do. Right now, the best thing to be done would just go on up to the house. Somebody would be up later and give you the details of what's happened. And as we got back to the truck, he motioned and said, why don't you take your 2 boys, take them up with you? And I looked up, saw my 2 younger sons standing on the opposite corner. They were fixated on that body, and it took me a second or 2 to get their attention, motioning for them. And one of the scenes of this night that I will never forget, there's a frontage road that runs right alongside the main roadway where this crash occurred. This was right over in Lakeside where this happened. On that frontage road, was a fire truck. Back bumper was a couple of firemen sitting with their heads down in their hands. We just happened to look up at each other at the same time, and I had never seen a more devastated look on anybody's face as I did those firemen that night. They were there to save lives, and there was nothing they could do. You could just see it in their face. And I nodded at them, put the boys in the truck, drove up to the house. We lived 4 houses up from the intersection. I was in my driveway within a matter of 20 seconds or so, and as I'm pulling in the driveway, I'm running down this list of all the people that I need to get inside and start calling real quick. And I got out of my truck and made the turn to go into the home, looking up, noticing our next-door neighbor's daughter, who is standing in the doorway of my home. And I remember looking up at her, and I just blurted out that I've got to call my wife. She said, "Larry, your wife's already been contacted, and somebody's on their way to pick her up." I later learned that there were 2 phone calls made to my wife by Sean's younger brother, Nick. First phone call was something to the effect of, "Mom, Sean's been hit by a car, and they're taking him to the hospital." My wife said, "Well, you go down there and you find out where they're taking him, come back and call me right away so I can get there." Second phone call just a couple of minutes later was something to the effect of, "Mom, Sean is," and he broke down crying. Next door neighbor's daughter had to take the phone, let my wife know that our son had been killed. She was working about 20 minutes away in a retail store. And for those of you that have ever done anything with retail, you'll understand that they typically have these back little pseudo-secure locked office rooms where you can go in and count money, make phone calls, do ordering, that kind of stuff. But they always keep the doors closed and locked when you're inside so nobody can, sneak up on you and do whatever they're going to do. Well, my wife was in that office, the door was closed and locked, and when she heard our son was dead, she lost it. She started screaming. Everybody in the store could hear her all the way up front, and 2 of the workers took off running to the back, and when they got to that door, reaching for the handle, realizing that the door was locked and the key was on a band around my wife's wrist inside. They spent a few minutes trying to get her to calm down enough, because really all she had to do was reach her hand behind her, turn the knob, and let him in. Now, by this time, I had made some phone calls. First phone call that I actually made was to the pastor of our church. Lived really close, was there within a minute and a half or so, and when he got there, I said, "Could you please do me a favor, go down to the intersection and see if they've taken Sean's body out of the road. I didn't want my wife coming through and seeing our son still laying in the road." Well, he'd go down, he'd come back up. "No, Larry," and I'd send him back down. He'd come. This went on for a little while. And finally, at one point, he came back up and said, "Larry, I talked to one of the officers down there, and they say they can't touch the body until the coroner gets there." That night, the coroner was really busy, unable to get there in an expedient amount of time. So as my wife came through, there's our son, still laying in the road. Behind her was our oldest son being brought home by a friend. I remember standing in my front lawn as they both pulled up, and for some reason it was my son's face that really caught my attention. He was looking at me with the strangest look I'd ever seen. It was though he was looking through me, not at me. He got out of the car and took a couple of steps towards me in the lawn and collapsed. He cried so hard that night. Now, according to the police report, this happened at 7:08 in the evening. It wasn't until 9:10, 9:15 that night that the coroner was finally able to make it out to the intersection and do their work. And sitting in my home at this point, somebody came in and got me and said, "Larry, we think the coroner just pulled up out front." Okay, so I went to the door, introduced myself, and brought her inside and brought her into the living room. She sat down. The immediate family kind of gathered around her. Now, I was only understanding about every third or fourth word that was being said to me at this point. But when she began talking, I remember looking up in my home. We had lived at this place for a number of years. We knew everybody. Everybody knew us. But when I looked up, my house was suddenly packed with people, dining room, living room, kitchen, hallway. It was packed. I don't know where all these people came from and how they got in my home so quick, but I didn't recognize any of them. I'd never seen them before. But you could tell that everybody was kind of leaning in, trying to hear what the coroner had to say, but she was talking really quiet as to just be talking to the immediate family. And she went into the procedures we would have to go through, how the morgue and the funeral home worked together, the paperwork that would have to be signed. And reaching down, grabbing a clipboard and putting it up on her lap, she looked over at me and said, "Mr. McNamer, have you given any thought to organ donation?" Now, keeping in mind, every third or fourth word that I was getting out of this, when she said that, it caught me totally off guard. And I remember the first thought that was in my mind was, why would you be asking that question? And then it was like somebody smacked me upside the head. I suddenly realized she was asking me to donate my son's organs. I looked up at my wife. My wife nodded her head, and I nodded mine, said, "Yeah, whatever we need to do, let's do it." She said, "I'm sorry to have to inform you, but the only organs that will be worth harvesting from your son will be his eyes. Because when you're hit from behind by a vehicle that's doing 55 miles an hour and you're walking on the side of the road, there's not much left of you." Now, it was at this point that we also learned of a second death. Now, wait a minute. I had only seen one, but who was the other person? It was Sean's friend Tyler. They had detected a small faint pulse in Tyler and felt it was quicker to put him into an ambulance instead of getting life flight in the air, get him over to where life flight was standing on standby at Gillespie Field. But by the time they got there, the flight doctor pronounced him dead. They said for all intents and purposes it was just a reflex his body was going through, that the boys were killed instantly. The first photo I have for you is the car. For those of you that know anything about cars, you'll notice right away that this is not the cars of today. This isn't fiberglass and plastic. This is all metal, and you can see the amount of damage that's done to the front of that vehicle. It doesn't show you the windshield where the boys hit, the roof of the car where they rolled over. People who were driving by at the time, they said it looked like a couple of rag dolls just got tossed up into the air. Next photo is Sean. Good-sized kid. I'm 5'5". He was, about 5'11". Starting to bulk out. He was just really, starting to do weightlifting, and he wanted more than anything to be a professional hockey player. My wife and I, we kind of responded to that with, wow, well, where did that come from? But okay, let's do what we got to do to see what we can do to help you with that. Next photo is him sitting here with two things that he really, really loved in life. His girlfriend, Chrissy. These two were inseparable. They could finish each other's sentences. It was uncanny how good they were at it. And then you see him sitting there with that double big gulp Dr. Pepper. We never saw him without one. And that night, him and Tyler were on their way back from the 7-Eleven with one of those in their hands. We know it because they were found in the roadway next to where the boys landed. This is one of the few photos that we have of Sean. This happened on a Saturday evening. Sunday morning, we had all the local news media standing in our front yard at about 8 o'clock in the morning, wanting to do interviews with us. This was a pretty highly publicized case when it happened. And after the interviews, one of them asked us, do you have any photos of Sean that we could use on the evening news? My wife said, yeah, give us a few minutes and we'll go in and get you some. And as we went inside and started looking through a couple of boxes trying to find photos that we wanted them to use, my wife looked up at me and said, you know, Sean did not like to have his picture taken. He was great at hiding behind somebody or something every time he saw the lens of a camera. And the older he got at it, the better he got at it. We didn't know these photos existed until about 6 weeks after the funeral, and it was Chrissy's parents that were able to catch them and get the photo. But I want to encourage you folks, don't think that you can have enough pictures of your kids. Don't make the mistake that I did. What I wouldn't give to have more pictures of him. Interestingly enough, I'm an audio engineer. That's what I do for a living. I don't even have a voice recording of my son. And what I wouldn't give to hear his voice again. The last photo that I have of my son is one that I would hope that none of you ever find yourself in my position of having to wake up in the morning or in the middle of the night or just be driving down the road and this image appears in your mind. And that's this photo right here. That's my son. That's what I drove up on. That's what I wanted more than anything to get over, pick up and hold, and let him know everything was going to be okay. But I never got that chance. And you can see on the left-hand side there a license plate. Part and parcel to the Highway Patrol finding that license plate laying in the road. They were able to find the person that did this 6 hours later, sobbing uncontrollably, drinking a beer in their apartment. This was a hit and run. The person that did this was a 27-year-old mother of 3. This was her 3rd DUI, 2nd DUI hit and run. I know for a fact that she didn't wake up that morning thinking to herself, I'm going to go to a birthday party out at one of the local parks today. I'm going to go drink myself stupid, and then I'm going to go kill 2 kids. That is not what she was thinking. 7 minutes after leaving that park that night, 2 kids were dead. The whole time that she was in prison, at the time, you see, this was almost 22 years ago. At the time, She was given the max, 13 and a half years. She did half her time and is now out. Lives in the local community here. And we've let her know that through her parole officer that if she's serious about getting her life back together, we would certainly love to do anything we could to help her. Because not only was our family affected, Tyler's family, but she lost 7.5 years of her own kids. She couldn't see them, touch them, or talk to them the whole time she was in state prison. Guys, all of us are here today to hopefully get through to you what this drinking and driving can do. We're here because we care about you. Life is meant to be enjoyed. It really is. But it's meant to be enjoyed responsibly. So we're here asking you to join with us to stop this right here, right now. This is 100% preventable. We can stop it right here, right now. I made a promise to my son the day we laid him in the grave. I told him that I would spend the rest of my life, as long as I was physically and mentally able to do so, doing everything I can to stop this from happening. It's been 22 years now, and we're still here. Keep me from having to do this, would you? Put me out of a job here? Let's stop it. You all can do it. And we're begging you to do that. Thank you for your time.
We appreciate Mr. McNamer coming up and sharing the worst day of his life with you in hopes that it'll get through to just one of you to maybe make the right choice if it ever comes to whether to get behind the wheel after drinking alcohol. And that is for parents as well, not just students. At this time, I would like to call up Zachary and Brent.
In conclusion, Brent and I would like to say something.
The last 2 days, we have witnessed a staged and very well organized event.
But every 15 minutes is very real.
Real events just like this happen every 15 minutes.
And as we have seen for ourselves, even this year, these events can affect our community, our school, and our friends.
You need to make the decision right now. If you wait until the time comes, it'll be too late.
Brent and I stand in front of you with the commitment cards in our hands.
We make the promise and commitment to our friends, family, and our peers to never drink and drive.
We promise that we will never drink and drive.
We also promise to never get in the car with someone who has been drinking.
And you, our fellow students, we ask you, please make that same promise to yourself, your friends, and your family never to drink and drive.
If you're willing to make that promise, please stand up with us right now.
At this time, I'd like to thank you for your attendance. For the juniors and seniors not involved in this program, you are excused to lunch. Thank you.
Step one, you say we need to talk. He walks, you say sit down, it's just talk. He smiles politely back at you. You stare politely right on through some sort of window to your right. As he goes left and you stay right between the lines of fear and blame. You begin to wonder why you came. Where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along in the bitterness, and I put out stayed up with you all night, and I know how to save a life. Let him know that you know best, 'cause after all you do know best. Try to slip past his defense without granting innocence. Lay down a list of what is wrong, the things you told him all along. Pray to God he hears you, and pray to God he hears you. And where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along in the bitterness, and I put out stayed up with you all night, and I know how to save a life. As he begins to raise his voice, you lower yours and grant him one last choice. Drive until you lose the road, a break with the ones you follow. He will do one of two things. He will admit to everything, or he'll say he's just not the same, and you'll begin to wonder why you came. Where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along in the bitterness, and I put out stayed up with you all night, and I know how to save a life. Where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along in the bitterness, and I put out stayed up with you all night, and I know how to save a life. How to save a life. How to